we first learned of COVID and the possibility of having to work from home, one of the initial thoughts was, how are we going to support the organization with remote workers and students that are no longer on campus?
It really, to be honest, took me by surprise. We left for spring break and I knew that there was COVID-19, but I guess I didn't realize the impact it would have on us.
So we were seeing, all the news about coronavirus happening and then the possibility of remote work. You start considering, what changes do we have to do for students? What changes do we have to do for our staff?
And back when that first started, we all anticipated it was only going to run for a couple weeks, maybe a month, and then we'd be right back to work.
The leadership team and I got together to perform triage on all the problems that we knew about. But at the same time, we turned around and we saw that our team had all just dug in and were working on independent solutions for problems that didn't even bubble up to us.
Biggest concern was to be on hand so that we could assist anybody that needed any technical help prior to them leaving the campus.
We gave ourselves, I think, 3 days is what we had to figure out how we would help to support faculty who would need to go online within 5 days.
Videos, how to do this, live training in a very short amount of time.
Most of our faculty weren't even teaching online, so how do you get a big group of people that had never taught online to today's the day, you're going to teach online? I think that's one of the most impactful things our department did, was quickly developing a training course.
We no longer have our employees showing up to our campuses and our students showing up to our campuses, so how do we provide the same services that we were already providing to them while they were in our building, now remote?
Our collaboration software, we probably had about a 20% usage, but as soon as remote from home came about, it basically jumped up to about 90% of collaboration and virtual meetings.
We did a lot of training. We did a lot of one-on-one work with a lot of instructors on technology and how they could make the technology work for them and how they could use video. You have this kind of unmanageable amount of requests for things, not only triaging all of those, but then prioritizing, okay, so I'm getting 25 questions about this. Can we leverage some other method to make sure that everybody knows the answer to this question?
I think the hardest thing was figuring out how we were going to get somebody's broken equipment, get it repaired, and get it back to them, and still follow all of the college's guidelines, the CDC guidelines.
I'm proud of the way our whole department just jumped right in. The network team was working on solutions, the server team, the programmers were working on solutions, tech support, academic technologies. Everybody just dug in and helped where they could to get things going.
We've always been really good at changing on a dime and figuring out how to make it work.
We've kept right on going. We've not stopped.
If anything came up, we always had a resource or someone with that expertise to jump in and help resolve that issue.
Removing those boundaries of the buildings and the college network. And so going forward in 2021, continue that mindset.
I think that as a college community, there are just so many things that people should be proud of.